Building the Flux Rifle in 2021 might seem a little bit counterintuitive. But you know what? The weapon packs more of a punch than you might think, and it's also gonna be getting a variant soon, so it pays to be prepared. Hey guys, welcome back. As always, my name is Leyzar, and today we're gonna be diving deeper into this primary weapon. As per the usual, I'm gonna serve up a cheap build, something affordable that most will be able to build, just so you can get a clue, a good idea of what the weapon is capable of without anything special. But then, of course, we're gonna pump it up with a Riven everything. That said though, please keep in mind that my builds and guides usually take a new player friendly approach. I'm gonna be taking my time and explaining whatever I feel is necessary for newer players. So in case you're a vet and you already know most of this stuff, please bear with me. And with that out of the way, let's jump into the Flux Rifle. Let's begin by checking out how the weapon handles without any mods equipped, and for that, just a couple of free shots. The Flux Rifle is a very old weapon. It's one of the oldest beam weapons in Warframe. It channels a frontal beam with a 30-meter range, so the range is absolutely huge. But of course, if that's not enough for you, if you want to try some punch through shenanigans, then you can go for Sinister Reach. But normally the weapon is pinpoint accurate. Now, being a beam weapon, you should know that you get 2 damage ticks per ammo. Also, the damage doesn't start up at 100%, it ramps up over the course of 0.6 seconds. It's not noticeable, it's not something you should be worried about, but something like a cool factoid and all whatnot. You're also going to be noticing that I don't have any ammunition reserves. That's because this is a recharge weapon. So essentially, after you stop firing like so, it takes about a second, a delay, before the weapon starts recharging at a rate of 40 ammo, 40 per second. So basically in 1.25 seconds, you got your entire 50 magazine back. And that's pretty much it, the functionality. Let's have a closer look at stats to see exactly what we're dealing with. Mod capacity 60 out of 60, and if your Flux Rifle comes with only 30 out of 30, jump into actions, plug in that auto king catalyst, and double that mod capacity. Is it worth it in 2021, a Flux Rifle? 100%. Believe it or not, the Flux Rifle is one of the weapons that actually came out the other side of the status chance changes of 2020 looking better than before. So even though this is mostly a forgotten weapon, it packs one hell of a punch, as I will demonstrate you. So yes, it's totally worth it. Now, my weapon has been formatted 9 times. Why is not important why. For the weapon build I'm recommending you can get away with 4 formats. Simply plug in V symbols, the usual affair. As for the weapon Excellus or Plexilus slot, this one you can leave locked. I unlocked it without thinking. I just like reflexed it, essentially. So I have nothing to put on. I mean, you can put on guided ordnance, I guess. You can put this one on if you want to play into heavy caliber, because heavy caliber on this weapon is what I like to call usable. So you do have the option of going for guided ordnance. Speaking about heavy caliber and the accuracy of 100, allow me to show you what happens if you plug in heavy calibre. We're gonna put on multi-shot as well, though for beam weapons that doesn't matter as much. The accuracy drops to 14.4. Never mind about the math, leave it alone, it's fine. So you saw it was pinpoint accurate before. We're gonna do the 15-meter test. The little beam kind of jiggles, but it jiggles mostly inside your crosshairs. From my humble point of view, this is usable. If you're a sharpshooter and you appreciate the accuracy these weapons can bring to Warframe and to your gameplay style, of course you're not gonna go for this one. Don't worry, there are plenty of other options when it comes to mods. Critical stats for the Flux Rifle are not fantastic. The critical multiplier at 2.0 is not bad, but the base critical chance, let's be honest, 10% simply won't cut it for something like Hunter Munitions. In the sense that you can still gonna get a lot of slashes through Hunter Munitions if you want to go for a crit build like Sue. Point Strike is gonna bring it up to 25%, but it's not worth it, and you'll see why that is just a tad later. The fire rate is 12 for a magazine of 50, and that's where we can tweak into fire rate, especially considering that if we're not going critical chance, critical damage, we're freeing up 2 mod slots, so bear that one in mind. Punch through of 0.5, this is not a whole lot by default, but you can still get through the Grineer. Shield dude, you know, the most common Grineer guy with the shield, with the thing, yeah, basically you get through that one. Reload of 1 second, this does not represent the time it takes the weapon to fully reload. This is just that small delay before the weapon starts recharging. So for a full reload, you're looking at 2.25 seconds, right? The 1 second delay, and the 1.25 to fully recharge the 50 ammo. Riven Dispo, 5 out of 5, because again, this is one of those forgotten gems, and the status chance is 24%, which is plenty in this case with the trigger held. And here's the weapon's main advantage, outside of the fact that it's a beam weapon. Slash. A lot of slash, and just a little bit of puncture. Now let's have a look at a standard build, shall we? Damage, acceleration, and heavy calibre, multi-shot with split chamber, and no Vigilante Armaments. And we also got the two 60-60 mods forming viral damage, malignant force, and rhyme rounds. Now on the weapon, you got Flux Overdrive. This is a Flux Rifle only mod. You get it by playing Index. You don't need to pay anything for it. You can trade a crap mod, a worthless mod, a trash mod. Don't pay any plat for this one. Head on over to Index. Plenty of them drop. I mean, let me just see how many I got. I got like 20 something, and I kept giving these away and like recycling them to get other mods. So bear that one in mind. I'm just gonna show you what this mod can do. Status chance fluctuates between 150% and 250% over 5 seconds when the beam is fired. So at the very least, at the absolute very least, you're gonna get yourself 150% status chance. When you're talking status chance, rifle aptitude, which did get a buff in 2020, is giving you 90% status chance. So this one is 100% worth it. I want to show you performance of the weapon with just these 6 mods. That's it. Just these 6 mods. Rhyme rounds you get from Spy Mission, Malignant Force from Corrupted War, and the Void. Of course, this will be a slash build. Of course, it is a slash build. The number 1 proc priority, however, is gonna go to viral damage. You can change that. If you so desire, you can go for more slash on the weapon. Like so. With Fang Fusiliu. 120% slash. From my humble point of view, it's not really worth it. There are other mods that will benefit more the weapon, but if you really need to have slash as proc priority number 1, you go with Fang Fusiliu. It's not a horrible idea, not a fantastic idea either, in my humble opinion. Level 120, Corrupted Heavy Goons. Again, we're just looking at 6 mods on the weapon. Take a look. You see what I mean? That's Flux Overdrive mostly. Now, I know what you're gonna say. Dude, fire rate, fire rate. Yes, fire rate on this weapon will work a treat. But you don't want to overdo it with fire rate. Keep in mind how Flux Overdrive works, okay? You get more status chance the more you fire over the course of 5 seconds, which is why towards the end of my discharge, you get a whole lot more slashes. Look at the slash number. And you see that? Insane, man. Absolutely bloody insane. So you don't want to overdo it with fire rate. So what exactly can we use in the last 2 slots to give it a bit more humph? Well, my friends, an easy way, always easy, is to go with more status. In the case of something like this, you just go rifle aptitude and you're done for one of the slots. In the last one, what you can do is go for another elemental mod, another 60-60. Status chance of course works, and if you're gonna shoot something like Corrupted Heavy Goons or Infested, a little bit of heat. Right now in Warframe, heat is the most powerful single elemental there is. So a setup such as this, definitely not a bad idea, but you do have another option if you so desire. For example, maybe you're not a fan of rifle aptitude, then you might as well go for something like more multi-shot. Yes? Vigilante Armaments. Honestly, I like to go the fire rate route, and keeping in mind how the weapons work, if you manage to get them all clumped up together, you can make something really crazy happen. Especially, this is why I'm kind of showcasing it with Nidus, right? So if I'm gonna need some fire rate, and I'm gonna need some punch through as well to make use out of the clumping up mechanic and all whatnot, then Shred is the obvious answer. So you can slap on Shred. That, once again, is a very solid option. Now let me make one thing very clear. If you don't have Shred, because let's say you guys didn't start yet doing nightmare missions, then forget about it and just go with Vigilante Armaments. I'm gonna showcase the power of the weapon just like so. But if you're high enough to have Prime Shred, slap on Prime Shred and forget about it. The problem with punch through, with a weapon such as this that doesn't have a whole lot of AoE, is the fact that it's not going to be useful all the time, right? You need to have enemies in a line or clumped up in a ball or something. So while punch through is definitely a cool form of AoE, it's not always useful. As you can see, my Nidus has nothing on, that will skew the test results. And we're gonna showcase the weapon like so. There's nothing expensive on this build. The power of the Flux Rifle. Take a look. Look at that. Beautiful, man. Absolutely bloody fantastic. You can shoot till about 50%, but it's not really worth it. You're just gonna annihilate everything that stands before you. The more you shoot, the more status effects you're gonna be applying on your targets faster, because you're getting that more status chance from Flux Overdrive. The performance is fantastic. Again, I would say look into Shred or Prime Shred. That's another option you can go for. The last two mods on this weapon is what I like to call option slot. Simply cater the weapon to your own individual preferences. Because a little bit more DPS here, a little bit less DPS there isn't really gonna matter all that much, as how comfortable and how much fun you're having with the weapon. So bear that one in mind. Speaking about fun, that's okay performance, right? But if you want to put this one over the top, you gotta go Revon, my friends. Check this one out. This is not mine. It's a loner. Multi-shot damage, fire rate, minus ammo max. Now, of course, in this case, since the weapon is a recharge weapon, the minus ammo max is completely harmless. I do believe this one can roll minus slash. I'm not entirely sure that might be such a good idea though, so do bear that one in mind. Now in my option slot, I can go with even more fire rate, but I'm gonna go with Vigilante Armaments, because if you overdo it with fire rate, think about it, or Shred, that would also be good. If you're overdoing it with fire rate, you're not gonna make the most out of Flux Overdrive. So again, I advise caution when it comes to fire rate. Make sure you make use out of that special and super powerful mod for the Flux Rifle. And with a Riven, I just gotta bzzt a little bit you, and I'm gonna bzzt you, and then I will bzzt you a little bit. I don't wanna bzzt too much, you know what I mean? Nobody wants to be bzzt too much, so just bzzt enough. Now, of course, if your heart calls for it and you wanna bzz hard, then you just bzz hard like that, and you absolutely annihilate whatever stands before you, my friends. And let's be honest, nobody cares about Flux Rifle Rivens. Quickly, just buy 3 of them unrolled. They're so cheap. Buy a couple of them unrolled, right? And just go to town. Now, this not being a critical weapon, your options for what would be the quote-unquote ideal roll are a bit limited. You gotta get yourself multi-shot, that's prior 1. Damage then, and a harmless negative or nothing else, that would be just fine, a Riven like that. If you can get fire rate, that's amazing. If you can get status chance, that's amazing. For negatives, again, look for something harmless, quote-unquote harmless. And that's pretty much it for normal performance. Of course, my friends, we can push it even further than that with a little bit of Warframe buffs. Now, I can take Lady Mirage Prime. She is superior when it comes to Warframe buffs. But this time, I'm gonna go with Lord Harrow, because I got another Riven, which I do want to show you, my friends. But I do believe that the more appropriate fashion would be this one. Kind of matches, kind of. It pays to kind of use the same colors all the time. If I know I'm gonna be getting critical chance from Harrow, then I can adjust my build accordingly. I get critical chance from Harrow, but I still don't have enough critical damage at 2.0. I'm gonna get rid of this Riven, and I'm gonna go with this one. This one has multi-shot and critical damage. So basically, that's another cool combo I can go for. 6.1 critical multiplier. In a case such as this, of course, going for something like Hunter Munitions, because now you got the crit from Harrow, is a no-brainer, and so on and so forth. But to be honest, I can't be arsed to reform the weapon another 2 times, so we're gonna go like so. This being a primary weapon, you can also use the Sentinel trick. Get a Sentinel. Any Sentinel you like, my friends. For example, this one that is colored horribly wrong. Horribly wrong. There we go. And on that Sentinel's weapon, which can be any weapon you like, make sure you have the Vigilante mods, offense, supplies, fervor, and armaments for the 20% chance to enhance critical hits from primary weapons. Bear in mind that if you already got armaments on your primary, right, you don't really need it on the Sentinel as well. You know what, let's go. More fire rate, yes, even more fire rate. And Harrow actually is gonna give us a fair chunk of fire rate as well. Look at all that fire rate. It's gonna be glorious, my friends, absolutely glorious. Now you might be curious. Alright, dude, what point does this serve? Fun. Remember? Fun? Warframe? Yeah, you get it? Yeah, that's the whole bloody point to a hashtag Vido game. We're gonna be unpausing the AI so they can hit me and I can get my glorious buffs. Now, Harrow is a very difficult frame to farm. I am fully aware of that, but take my word for it. He's 100% worth it. And Harrow Prime is still a ways off, so I would still get the normal Harrow. His fourth ability will grant us our critical chance and the damage immunity for a pretty long time, and his second ability grants fire rate as well as reload speed, because we needed more of that. Look at it. I mean, do you even? I think I might take off heavy caliber for a build such as this, because I really want it to be pinpoint accurate considering my fire rate. Now, a weapon such as this that can pack this kind of a punch in a single target fashion, you can even take it to Steel Path. I'll be honest, I don't care about Steel Path. It seems like a glorious waste of time, but if that's your speed, if that's what you enjoy to do in Warframe, by all means, my friends, enjoy your time. I forgot to showcase Harrow's Warframe buffs, didn't I? Okay, so basically I got Arcane Avenger. That will give us a bit more critical chance on the weapon. Harrow's on headshot, you get 200%, so you can make use of Avenger as well. You can always technically make use of more critical chance because there are an infinite number of crit tiers, even though the coloring stops at red for some reason. And the second Arcane, I believe it's Arcane Rage for more damage to primary weapons. Not like I would actually need any more damage than this, but here, one more time. How beautiful. How beautiful is that, man? I absolutely love this frame and I absolutely love this weapon. Now, let's be honest here. It's not all sunshine and roses, Leyzar. Okay, give me the bad stuff. Well, the bad stuff would be the fact that this is a single target weapon. In 2021. Where everybody tries to get the most amount of area of effect they can. It's a trend, and unfortunately the Flux Rifle doesn't really have much of anything when it comes to AoE. Now you can trick it just a little bit with Prime Shred or Normal Shred and get yourself some punch through, but let's be honest, it's not like a Brahma that can make like a million explosions. At the end of the day, however, in Warframe, one of the beauties, from my point of view, of the game is that you have this huge weapon diversity. So pick the correct tool for the correct job. As always, my name has been Leyzar. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, favorite, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. If you got any sorts of feedback for me, by all means, my friend, drop it in the comment section down below. Also in the comment section down below, if you guys want to suggest any particular type of content. But until next time, my friends, Shawazin. Bye-bye!